Did you know that the average American household has a bottle of vinegar sitting in the pantry right now, but most people only use it for cooking or the occasional cleaning job? The truth is, this humble kitchen staple is one of the most underrated tools you can have in your gardening arsenal. It's cheap, it's natural, it has been used for over 10,000 years, and it can solve some of the most frustrating problems gardeners face. From stubborn weeds to pesky critters to rusty tools that seem beyond saving. In fact, a single gallon of white vinegar costs just a few bucks at the grocery store, yet it can replace dozens of expensive garden products sitting on store shelves. So before you spend another dime on specialty sprays, fertilizers, or pest repellents, grab that bottle of vinegar and stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at it the same way again. And trust me, number 4 is an absolute lifesaver. Let's start with the most popular use of vinegar in the garden: killing weeds. If you have ever spent a hot afternoon on your hands and knees yanking dandelions out of cracks in your sidewalk, this one is for you. Regular white vinegar contains about 5% acetic acid, and that acid works by drying out the leaves of weeds on contact. Within 24 hours, you will see those pesky plants wither and turn brown. All you have to do is pour some undiluted white vinegar into a spray bottle and douse the weeds, ideally on a sunny day when there is no rain in the forecast. For tougher weeds, you can boost the power by mixing 1 gallon of vinegar with 1 cup of salt and 1 tablespoon of dish soap. The salt helps dehydrate the plant further, and the soap helps the mixture stick to the leaves. Just be careful where you spray, because vinegar does not discriminate. It will harm any plant it touches, including your prized tomatoes and flowers. Aim carefully, and avoid windy days when overspray can drift. Number 2, keep ants out of your garden. If you've ever watched a trail of ants march across your patio and into your flower beds, you know how frustrating they can be. Ants can protect aphids, which damage plants, and they can also build nests that disturb your soil structure. Here's where vinegar comes to the rescue. Ants rely on scent trails, chemical pheromones they leave behind for other ants to follow. When you spray a vinegar and water solution along their path, it completely disrupts those scent trails, causing the ants to lose their way. Simply mix equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle, then apply it along ant trails, around entry points, and near their nests. You will need to reapply every few days, especially after rain. It is a natural, pet-friendly alternative to harsh chemical pesticides, and it really does work. Number 3, deter rabbits, deer, and neighborhood cats. Gardeners in America spend billions of dollars every year on products to keep animals away from their plants, but a bottle of vinegar can do the job for pennies. Rabbits, deer, raccoons, and even stray cats dislike the strong, pungent smell of vinegar. To use it as a repellent, soak a few old rags or cotton balls in white vinegar and place them around the perimeter of your garden. You can also tie them to stakes and position them near the plants you want to protect. For the best results, refresh the rags every 1 to 2 weeks, or more often after heavy rain. This trick works especially well for protecting vegetable gardens, flower beds, and young saplings from hungry critters. Just keep the rags away from plants themselves so the vinegar does not damage them. Number 4, revive rusty garden tools. This one is a lifesaver. All right, here is the one you have been waiting for. And if you are anything like me, this tip has probably saved you hundreds of dollars already. We all know how expensive quality garden tools can be. A good pair of pruning shears alone can run you $40 or more, and if you leave them out in the rain or forget them in the shed over winter, they can quickly become rusted and seemingly useless. But before you toss them in the trash and buy new ones, try this trick. Fill a bucket with enough white vinegar to completely submerge your rusty tools and let them soak overnight, or up to 24 hours for heavily rusted items. The acetic acid in the vinegar reacts with iron oxide, the rust, and breaks it down, allowing you to wipe it away with a stiff brush or steel wool. After the soak, rinse the tools with water, dry them thoroughly, and rub a little oil on the metal surfaces to prevent future rust. I have personally used this trick to bring back shovels, pruners, hedge clippers, and even an old cast iron wheelbarrow that I thought was a goner. It is like getting brand new tools for the price of a splash of vinegar. Lifesaver indeed. Number 5. Test your soil's pH. Before you plant anything in your garden, it is important to know whether your soil is acidic or alkaline, because different plants thrive in different conditions. You could spend $20 on a pH testing kit from the garden center, or you could use some vinegar from your kitchen. Here is how to do it. Grab a cup of soil from your garden and place it in a container. Pour in about half a cup of white vinegar. If the soil fizzes or bubbles, that means your soil is alkaline, with a pH above 7. If there is no reaction, your soil is either neutral or acidic, and you can confirm this with a second test using baking soda and water. This quick and easy trick gives you a general idea of what your soil needs, helping you decide which plants to grow or which amendments to add. It is not as precise as a lab test, but it is a fantastic starting point for any home gardener. Number 6. Clean terracotta and clay pots. If you've ever reused a terracotta pot, you have probably noticed those chalky white deposits on the outside. Those are mineral deposits left behind by water and fertilizer, and they can not only make your pots look old and dirty, they can also affect the pot's ability to breathe, which is one of the main benefits of using clay pots in the first place. To clean them, mix equal parts white vinegar and water. Either soak the pots in the solution for about 30 minutes or spray it on and scrub gently with a brush. The vinegar dissolves the mineral buildup, leaving your pots looking fresh and new. This is especially helpful when you are repotting plants because clean pots reduce the risk of transferring diseases or pests to new plantings. Give them a good rinse before use, let them dry, and they are ready to go. Powdery mildew is one of the most common and frustrating plant diseases in American gardens. It appears as a white, flour-like coating on the leaves of squash, cucumbers, roses, and many other plants. Left untreated, it can stunt growth and destroy your harvest. The good news is, vinegar's mild acidity makes it an excellent natural fungicide. Mix 2 to 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar into a gallon of water, pour it into a spray bottle, and apply it to the affected leaves. For best results, spray in the early morning or evening. Never spray in the heat of the day, as this can cause leaf burn. This solution not only treats existing mildew, but can also help prevent it from spreading. Just remember, too much vinegar can hurt your plants, so always stick to the dilution ratio and test on a small leaf first. Number 8. Acidify soil for acid-loving plants. Some of America's favorite plants, like blueberries, azaleas, hydrangeas, rhododendrons, and gardenias, absolutely love acidic soil. If your soil is too alkaline, these plants won't thrive, and you'll notice yellowing leaves, poor growth, and few blooms. Here is a simple fix. Mix 1 cup of white vinegar with a gallon of water and use the solution to water your acid-loving plants once a month. This gradually lowers the pH of your soil, creating a more hospitable environment for these beautiful plants. One interesting bonus, if you have hydrangeas, the pH of the soil actually affects the color of the blooms. More acidic soil gives you gorgeous blue flowers, while alkaline soil produces pink ones. So by adjusting your vinegar treatments, you can play florist and change the color of your blooms. Number 9. Trap fruit flies and gnats. Nothing ruins an afternoon in the garden quite like a swarm of fruit flies or fungus gnats. These tiny pests love hanging around compost bins, ripe fruit, and the damp soil of houseplants, and they seem to multiply overnight. Enter apple cider vinegar. Fruit flies are irresistibly drawn to its sweet fermented smell. To trap them, pour a few inches of apple cider vinegar into a small jar or bowl, add a drop or two of dish soap, and cover the top with plastic wrap. Poke a few small holes in the plastic with a toothpick. The flies will be lured in by the vinegar, but the dish soap breaks the surface tension, causing them to sink. Within a day or two, you will see a dramatic reduction in the fly population, and it is far cheaper and safer than chemical sprays, especially around edible plants or kids and pets. Number 10. Clean hummingbird feeders. If you are one of the millions of Americans who love watching hummingbirds zip around the yard, you know how important it is to keep their feeders clean. Dirty feeders can grow harmful mold and bacteria that can actually make hummingbirds sick. That is the last thing we want. Forget harsh dish soaps, which can leave residues that deter birds from visiting. Instead, use a mixture of 1 part white vinegar and 4 parts water. Pour it into the feeder, shake it around, let it sit for a few minutes, then scrub gently with a bottle brush. Rinse thoroughly with clean water before refilling with nectar. Doing this every time you refill the feeder, ideally once a week in warm weather, keeps it safe, sanitary, and attractive to those tiny flying jewels. Your backyard birds will thank you, and so will your conscience. Number 11. Boost seed germination. This last one is a lesser-known trick that experienced gardeners swear by. Some seeds have incredibly tough outer coats that make germination slow and unreliable, such as morning glories, okra, nasturtiums, and certain squash varieties. To speed things up, soak the seeds overnight in a solution of 1 cup of water mixed with a few drops of white vinegar. The mild acidity softens the hard outer shell, a process gardeners call scarification, and makes it much easier for the seed to sprout once planted. The next morning, rinse them off, plant them in your garden or seed trays, and watch them pop up much faster than usual. It is a tiny, almost effortless step that can mean the difference between waiting weeks for germination and seeing your little green sprouts in just days. For anyone who has ever had a packet of seeds fail to come up, this tip alone is worth its weight in gold. And there you have it. 11 amazing money-saving ways to put vinegar to work in your garden. Who would have thought that something so cheap and common could replace so many expensive products and solve so many common problems? From weed killing to rust removal, pest control to soil testing, vinegar really is one of the most powerful and versatile tools a gardener can have. Just a quick tip before you head out to try these. Always use plain distilled white vinegar or apple cider vinegar, and avoid using it directly on plants you want to keep alive unless you are diluting it properly. For stronger applications, you can find horticultural vinegar with higher acetic acid content, but handle that with extra care since it is much more potent. So the next time you are at the store, grab an extra bottle or 2 of vinegar. Your garden, your tools, and your wallet will all be better off for it. This channel is all about sharing useful, common-sense tips that help you stop wasting things and stretch your money further. We post many more ideas like this, so if you find these videos helpful, subscribe and stay up to date. Your wallet will thank you.